Mama never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
A nation in a shock, a tragic in the sky, and now a fiery call that has set the country talking. Former MP Ras Mubarak isn't holding back. His message is clear, tough, and controversial. And what is it about? His message was to have no mercy on any Galamseyers. They should be shoot, kill anywhere they see them doing illegal mining. Without much time wasting, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. This station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only station with the hottest political show. We bring it to you your way, the way it is. Do subscribe, like, and also share for more.
Let's go on to the phone lines. Ras Mubarak is a former member of parliament, a member of the NDC, also supposed to even be embarking on a journey to some selected African countries as we're looking at, uniting Africa. And he has joined us via phone to have a conversation with us. Ras Mubarak, thank you for your time, and condolences to you as an NDC member and as a friend, maybe, to the members that the party has lost.
Well, thank you very much. This is a very difficult, very tragic, very sad moment, not just for members of the NDC and government, but for all Ghanaians. We have lost husbands. We have lost young men full of life, patriotic, who tragically passed away in the line of duty. And I'd like to express my very heartfelt condolences to the families of Dr. Manebuama, Dr. Mutala Ibrahim Mohammed, Dr. Limuna Muniru, Dr. Sapon, and the officers who passed away in this tragic, helicopter crash. This is one of those moments when you are completely lost for words. I spoke to Dr. Manebuama as early as last Sunday, and the Honorable Mutala Ibrahim, I spoke to him on the 21st. I was just checking my phone records on the 21st of July. And to learn today, tragically, that they have passed away reminds all of us that life is so fleeting. And, it is our wish and prayer that their gentle souls would rest in the embrace of God. I mean, these are people I've known personally over the years, and I can tell you that their commitment to our country, their dedication to our country is not questionable. People who are very, very patriotic as well, who are interested in Project Ghana. And to think that they have died in a manner that they have makes it the more sad. A few years ago, we lost Major Mahama, who passed away in the line of duty. He was tragically murdered, fighting the Galamsey menace. Today, senior government officials, two of whom are ministers of state, a deputy national security coordinator, the vice chairperson of our party, and officers in uniform died in the line of duty, simply because a bunch of greedy, self-serving people have decided that they would continue to destroy our water bodies and our forests. And so, but for the Galamsey menace, they probably would have been alive. And as we reflect on the sad passing of these wonderful souls, the time has come for the country to make a firm decision on what it wants to do with people who destroy our water bodies and our environment. How many more prominent people have to lose their lives in the name of fighting Galamsey before we take serious exception to people who are destroying our water bodies? It's very tragic. Wives have lost their husbands. Children have lost their fathers. And I'm told one of the officers who passed away has a child as young as 2 months old. And this child would grow up not knowing who her father was, not enjoying the joy of growing up in the arms of her father. That is what the greedy people in our society, in connivance with foreign nationals, have brought onto ourselves. And so, as we reflect on this sad passing of our comrades who were so passionate, who were so dedicated, who were so patriotic to our country, one thing I remember clearly is the words of the Honorable former MP for Bekwai, Jose Usu, when he made a pronouncement that we should shoot to kill people who are destroying our water bodies and our forest. Everybody got mad. We all scoffed at him. And human rights activists were up in arms that he was reckless, that is unparliamentary. Today, we have lost ministers of state. Today, we have lost husbands. Today, we have lost fathers. Today, we have lost, relatives and friends and loved ones. And as if Major Muhammad's passing was not enough for us to, say enough is enough. As if it wasn't enough. And for how long must this continue?
Honorable, I'm not sure if it has hit people yet because I don't know if you were watching, but I was also communicating with my co-host or colleague and told him that this is the reality of Galamsey if it's not dawning on people yet. And we think that it is only the young men who have gone into, the pits, and sometimes it collapses on them and we don't really care. And you've just mentioned Major Mahama. If leaders decide to ignore this, they are obviously going to be used as sacrifices as well. And here is the case that we have people who are serving the nation sacrificed for the same call on Galamsey. That's a reality that we're faced with as a country. And I'm not sure if it's dawned on people yet.
It's a sad reality. And I don't want the death of Major Mahama to be in vain. I don't want the death of Dr. Manibuama to be in vain. I don't want the death of my brother Mutala to be in vain. I don't want the death of Limuna and Dr. Sapon and the young, brilliant officers to be in vain. This is a national call for action. It's a moment of sadness and grief for the families, for the government, for members of the NDC, for the general public. But beyond the sadness, the reality of Galamsey is still waiting on us. And I think that we must make a serious commitment that never again must any Ghanaian, and it doesn't have to be a prominent person, nobody should ever have to lose their life because a bunch of greedy people, are destroying our water bodies. This is completely avoidable. They would have been alive, they would have been in Accra or somewhere else, going about their duties. I mean, as a Muslim, I do believe in the, will of God.
Yeah, so I was even wondering why, as a Muslim, you're even saying what you're saying, because you have
no, I mean, I do believe in the will of God. But human actions also culminate. They lead to tragic losses of life. And this is one of those moments. This is one of those moments. As sad as it is, it's as a result of people destroying our water bodies and destroying our forest. And until we decide to sack DCs and MCs, whose jurisdictions these things happen, until we begin to relieve them of their duties. Because the foreign Chinese national doesn't know where the gold is. So it is our own people who are conniving with these foreign nationals to destroy our water bodies. Until we begin to arrest thieves and people who collude to allow Galamsey to fester and go on. We will have this conversation year in, year out. We'll be back to square one. And perish the thoughts. Perish the thoughts. Perish the thoughts. Tomorrow we may be having the same conversation because people, went to fight Galamsey and they tragically lost their lives. Look at the kind of sophisticated weapons these Galamseyers are even using in warding off officers in uniform who are coming to, execute their rightful duties. And you even have some of them brazenly saying on record, they are recording themselves and threatening that if any security officer were to come to where they are, they would finish him. And these videos are in circulation. We haven't heard of the arrest of the young man who made that threatening, comment. It is a sad moment, but it reflects on us very, very badly because this could have been avoided. Our comrades, our friends, our loved ones, our senior government officials, and the officers would have been alive. Husbands would have been alive. Fathers would have been alive. but this is the tragic reality of, allowing people's indiscipline to go on in our country.
When you actually, advise for, some drastic solution to be applied, what exactly do you think we can do now? Because I'm not sure, as a country, we haven't done anything and everything under the sun.
No, we haven't deterred Galamseyers enough. And I think we've treated Galamseyers with kids' gloves. We've pandered to their wishes because of political expediency. And so they have been emboldened over the years to think that they could do this, and if their party is in government, they can get out of trouble if they were to be arrested. That is the reality. If we had listened to Joe Weiss, who at the time he made this comment, we were all saying, no. How do you go about shooting young men who are trying to earn a living? How do you justify a young man? Look at the destruction. The destructions are lifelong. What they do to our forests, it will take us years to reclaim.
Mm-hmm.
What they do to our river bodies, kids getting all manner of diseases, cyanide infected water, they don't care about anybody. And so the state must not care about them. If they have decided to use cyanide in our water bodies, look, if you want to know the enormity of the Galamsey menace, take a flight from Takoradi and see it up in the air. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. And so we must be ruthless, we must be merciless in dealing with this Galamsey menace. Otherwise, it won't stop. And politicians should stop entertaining them, whether MDC or MPP. We should stop. Enough is enough. 7 lives plus that of 6 lives plus that of Major Mahama are lives too many. We don't want to lose another officer in the line of duty who's committed no crime because somebody has decided to be selfish and greedy. No. We must take an intolerable stance against Galamsey. Otherwise, it would fester. Otherwise, it would blow out of proportion beyond anybody's imagination. Today, they are in the forests. God knows what else they would do tomorrow. And they've got all manner of ammunitions. Why can't we use drone technology? Why can't we begin to sanction districts that fall off, ranking? So we must rank districts. We must begin to, be innovative about fighting Galamsey and rank districts that are, Galamsey prone, and call them out and shame them. And if you're from a district who is shamed as allowing Galamsey to continue and you're okay with it, that's your problem. And we must reward districts that are taking immediate and serious measures in fighting Galamsey, and call out those who are that are not, and name and shame them. These things can't continue like this. We can't lose precious lives. These are young men who had lives ahead of them, who had so much contributions to make to society, to their families, to their relatives. Today they are all gone. Are we going to cry for 1, 2, 3 days, 1 week, mourn, and then we forget about the root causes? Why they were even on that fateful helicopter? Are we going to forget about why they were even on that fateful helicopter? And I think the only befitting memory, befitting tribute to their memory would be to come back next year when we are commemorating their passing and say, we thank goodness, today Galamsey is a thing of the past. That is the only befitting tribute we can give to Omane Boama, to Honorable Limuna, to Dr. Sapon, and to Honorable Mutala, and to the officers who died in the line of duty, including Major Mahama. That is only tribute. Otherwise, next year, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, we come back and we talk about the same issues, then what would we have achieved? What would we have achieved? Major Mahama died, we erected a statue. That is the end of it. Galamsey is still festering. It's still going on. And that is a tragedy of the situation. He had died in vain. Are we going to allow these group of young, dedicated, patriotic Ghanaians also to die in vain? The least we can do to honor their memory would be to nip Galamsey in the bud and go after anybody, irrespective of party, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of religion. People are hiding under the cover of chiefs and party and churches and mosques and committing crimes against the state. We can't entertain it. We're losing precious lives. Kids are dying, because they are drinking water that is infested with cyanide, etc. The food that comes from these places that are supposed to be food baskets, those of us in Accra and other cities, are consuming the same, chemical-infested food. And so you shouldn't even be surprised about the low life expectancy in our country. Men are dying at average 65. Women are dying at average, 67. The food we consume that come from some of these places that have been destroyed by chemicals are a contributory factor to the low life expectancy we have in our country. And so, yes, we may have criticized Joe Wise when he proffered the advice of shoot to kill to people who are destroying our water bodies and our forests. Today he's been vindicated. Today he has been vindicated. You can't say no to such a radical, suggestion, because all persuasions have failed. But of course, I would admit that one of the root causes also of this is the lack of sustainable jobs for young people in these places. And so there's got to be a raft of measures that would aggressively be put in place to make sure that the young people are busy, doing something else, giving alternative livelihood, and not Galamsey. Today, look at our cocoa farms. People are, completely destroying cocoa farms just so that they can, look for minerals. Today, we've lost our position as a leading producer of cocoa. We've lost it to the Ivory Coast. It is because of things like this. The young people are no longer interested in farming. The farmers are getting older. And they are destroying the farms for Galamsey. And if we don't, hold the bull by the horn and continue to treat Galamsey with kids' gloves, tragically, we may lose, officers in line of duty. It's a sad reality. It's a moment of sober reflection. But beyond a sense of sadness, we must not forget what brought us here. Are you with me?
I am with you. I'm with you. Ras Mubarak. We and obviously, as you speak, death sometimes comes our way to teach us a lesson, so we learn from it and do the right thing going forward. But we seem to get worse as a people, even in the midst of death. So, making reference to Major Mahama's situation, I remember how everything came to a stall. Everything came to a stall in the country. The whole nation was thrown into sort of a mourning state, as though we were going to as though we're going to change overnight. And nothing of that nature happened. I will not be shocked if next year we'll be sitting here having the same communication and nothing really will change. It almost takes, I don't know what it will take to get the people out of the practice, to get leadership, obviously take drastic action, as you're saying, that we're treating Galamseyers with kid gloves. I'm not sure exactly what it would take us to realize the value that Galamsey is taking from us.
We are a country that is forgetful, and so we mourn for a short time, and we forget why we were even in a state of mourning. And it is my prayer that with the sudden tragic demise of our comrades and friends, that we would take the action to make sure that people do not lose their lives in this manner. I can imagine the grief that has befallen the families of these young men, all in their prime, hardworking, dedicated, passionate about Ghana, who had their lives ahead of them. It is truly sad, but we take consolation in the fact that these are lives well lived. Every one of them has paid their dues. With the exception of the officers, I know every one of them at the personal level. And I can tell you for a fact that they are men with integrity. They are men who loved Ghana beyond measure. They are men who believed in Project Ghana and who dedicated their lives to Project Ghana.
Right.
Words are simply inadequate to express the grief that has befallen, those of us who know them on a personal level, and I can imagine what immediate family members would be going through.
Right.
And on such sad notes, I can only, express heartfelt condolences to them.
Some say Ras Mubarak is right. Others say it is too extreme. But one thing is certain. Our land and water bodies is under siege. What do you think? Is shooting to kill the only way to end Galamsey once and for all? Or we find another path? Drop your thoughts at the comment section. Don't forget to share, like, and also subscribe to PENDREAM TV for more fearless and unfiltered news. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.